in Tech is a company with disruptive innovation that is reimagining self-funded health plans for small business owners. And with me is the CEO, Tim Johnson, to explain Health in Tech. So let's just start with an overview of the company. What is it that you do?
We are an insurtech company, similar to fintech, but it's an insurtech where we specialize in building innovative products for self-funded small group health plans.
Okay.
And we take, our goal with doing this is that this is the largest market space from 100 lives and below. That really equals about 100%, or excuse me, 90% of the market space and of the employers in the US. And they're the most underserved as well. So when we create these efficiencies for quoting, how do you bind the groups, how do you implement, how do you administer the group, we're creating efficiencies for them and their brokers. We hope to drive the cost down in healthcare.
So, I mean, I think this is a big problem. Small business owners being able to afford healthcare for their employees. So how does it work? Say I'm a small business owner and I come to you and I'm like, help. How do you help?
Sure. Typically they'll have an agent or a broker and they'll call us.
Okay.
And either we'll assign them credentials to use our system. Our system is called DIBS, Do-It-Yourself Benefit Systems. So there's a lot of efficiencies that we've built into the program, but DIBS is the tool that does the quoting. And as opposed to us doing the quoting for carriers, we have a system that we give to their brokers. They log in, they go in, and they do it themselves. Why that's important is because we've been able to shorten the time frame from the time that you start quoting to the time you actually get your quote and can do anything with binding it. That system normally takes 2 weeks. We've shortened it to literally minutes so that we can get the information in, the broker can do it, and you can get the proposal and you can start implementing your group. Normally, small groups really only had access to one carrier in most states. We are creating competition for small groups now because even you only have one carrier, could be Blue Cross, could be United, you don't get the best service, you don't get the best price. Right. So competition creates that for them.
No, and that's where the tech part of the InsurTech comes in,
That's exactly
is that you're able
right.
to make it more efficient.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges, opportunities in healthcare right now? I mean, it just feels like it's such a kind of a chaotic industry.
15 years ago when I started this, I was probably pretty naive thinking I could get into this space and compete with, let alone Blue Cross or United. But now you have, it's $3.5 trillion of annual spend in the healthcare, including insurance and everything. But that has attracted Microsoft, Google, Amazon. So now we have to compete with all of these players. Okay. What we've been able to do, though, since we are small, we're able to be very nimble. So we've tried everything. I have an executive team that has experience in almost every field within healthcare. And through that experience, we've tried everything that we can think of, and a lot of times we failed, a lot of times we succeeded, but we've built a product now under the radar of everybody knowing what we were doing because we were so small, nobody was really paying attention to us. But now we released it last fall, and every month we have some record sales, so there are more and more brokers. We have testimonies from some of our carrier partners that are, if I'd have known this was out there 20 years ago or so, I wish I could have sold a lot more. Some people say that I tried to poke holes in it, but I can't because you've thought of everything. So we're pretty proud of the new product.
Yeah, and then I saw there was like self-funded medical insurance plan.
Correct.
Explain what that is.
Self-funded is very similar to fully insured, and most people don't understand these technical terms, but typically when you're a small group, you go and you apply for insurance in your state. You get a policy, you write a check once a month, you give it to your carrier, you're done, right? The carrier typically takes the risk. So and you never really know where your claims are at. If your claims are lower than your premium, the insurance carrier keeps it. If they're higher, that's the risk they take, so they're on the hook. In self-funding, you have a lot more flexibility. You're not governed by state regulations, you're governed by federal regulations, and the employer takes a little bit of risk in there. So by taking that risk, it allows him flexibility. So all the vendors that he gets to pick the vendors. He gets to pick how aggressive he wants to get on plan designs or which vendor, telemedicine, all these he gets to pick. When it's fully insured, he doesn't get to pick anybody. But the big secret is if he does well, in other words, his spend is less on claims than what he projected, he gets to keep the money.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to, write the check and not know what happens. This is very good for small businesses that want to get aggressive with controlling their health care costs.
And then explain the technology behind what you mentioned, eDibs, right?
Yeah.
And there's the Highcard. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain the technology behind that and how that helps make you different.
eDibs, like I said earlier, it's do-it-yourself benefit systems. It was created for the brokers to use it themselves to create efficiencies. You can fly through the quoting process as fast as you can use the system. You can get a proposal. The benefit of eDibs for us is that we can create a program for a broker or say a large association or some hospital system will come to us and say, I want to have my own health plan. Great. We sit down across the table, we open eDibs, we push buttons, we click it, there's your health plan. That process normally would have taken months to do. Now it's point and click through eDibs, so it's much quicker. Highcard is our data consolidation platform. In order to be, again, what we're really trying to do is create efficiencies within the system. So we are connected to every vendor and every participant. Electronically. So we gather data into our system 24/7. That data is used for employers to see how well they're running on their health plan. Brokers use it to see who's eligible on the plans. Employers use it to see, what's going on with my plan. How are some of my people doing? But most importantly, we view that the patient experience is vital because they're usually overlooked on these small group health plans. So the patient has an app. They get to see everything all the time. So what doctors are in my network? How is my claims running? Where's my deductible? If they want to hit a telemed doc or a virtual doc, they push a button. They lose their card, they have an electronic card on their app. So we're trying to improve the patient experience just through the technology that's out there that is never in one place, right? You have to use 3 different apps to get the things that I'm talking about.
Right.
Now it's all on one.
Well, and that's really important that the patient has a good experience too.
It is.
I feel like it reduces stress and
the noise comes from that.
Right,
so, yeah.
right, yeah. Okay, so finally, how would those participants start the process with you, and how would they find out more information?
Selffunded.com, that's our website, and on our website, depending upon if you're a broker, an employee, an insurance carrier, we have different spots within our website that you can go and learn about it. And obviously you can call any of the numbers, or you got a website on there you can email us to.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Tim. I mean, this does feel like an underserved area.
It's very.
And small businesses are often in an awkward spot.
Yeah, they are,
so
and it's tough for them.
Thank you so much for coming in.